Hi, this is Chris from Data Marketing for Everyone. Today the topic I want to cover is testing. More specifically, how to do an A-B split. Testing marketing pieces is critical to gaining an understanding of what is required to get your customers to respond the way you want them to. That response could be something like downloading a white paper from your website or something as critical as increasing the value of their purchase. So, in order to do a successful test, we need to take our entire database and split them into two groups, an A group and a B group. Therefore, it's called an A-B split. The difficulty of that is we want to make sure that neither of those groups has a selection bias. And what I mean by that is I want to make sure that my A group has the same distribution of male to female as my B group. I want to make sure that my A group has the same geographic spread as my B group. I'm going to show you how to do an A-B split of your database using Microsoft Excel. I would recommend Microsoft Excel till maybe 100 or 150,000 records. Anything larger than that, for instance, 2 or 3 million, which I've done in the past, I would personally prefer to do in Microsoft Access. It's a different way of doing it, but it is a little more powerful. It can make it happen a little better. If you have a question about this or any other data technique, I'd love to help you out. I can be reached at datamarketingforeveryone@gmail.com. And again, my name is Chris. Thanks for watching, and I hope I help you out. So I have extracted from my customer contact database a list of 100 customers for the purpose of this demonstration. I have taken along with me first name, last name, add one, city, state, zip, and then my customer ID. My customer ID is unique to each customer. I always want to pull that when I pull any information in my customer database, because if I ever need to marry up two pieces of data around my customers, I'm going to need that customer code. So always, always, always bring it. So my objective is to separate these 100 customers into two groups of 50 each that are very random, unbiased. There's no geographical bias, there's no political bias, there's no climate bias, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So although Excel does have a way to use a calculation to create a random number, it's not in essence random. But what is a random number is the last digit of your postal code. What is not a random number is the first digit of your postal code, because your postal code is related to how far away you are from Boston, Massachusetts, the site of the first post office. So the first 3 digits are related to that distance, and the last 2 are random. With that in mind, you'll notice that your West Coast addresses are all 9s, like Washington State, and your East Coast addresses tend to be 1s and 0s. And when you pull from your database into Excel, if your postal codes are not consistent, like your data entry people don't always put in the zip 5+4, Excel's going to get a little confused by them, but don't let that throw you off. And the way they confuse Excel is they look at a zip 5 as a number, so they write justify it. They look at a zip 5 that starts with 0 as a number, so it takes off the 0. Excel looks at a zip 5+4 as text, so it left-hand justifies it. But that doesn't negatively impact what we want to do here. So what we want to do here is we want to assign this field group, assign this an equation that says equals right. So start from the right of that cell, F2, comma, and pull one digit from the right, or one character really, and end that. So when I hit return, it's going to give me that number 1. And I'm going to do that for everybody, and I like to do it the quick way by double-clicking this, and it will fill down. So now every one of my records has the last digit of their zip code in here, which is very random. I've got 10 digits, 0 through 9. But this is really not a number, it's a calculation, so what I need to do is make that a number, and the way I'll do that is by copying that, and I will paste it special into here, and in paste special, all I want is the value. So while these two look the same, they're really not. This is a calculation, right? So 6 is the result of that calculation, but in this cell, 6 is actually a 6, so I can delete this. I'll make that boldface to keep things consistent. Now you sort on the group. And Excel comes back and says, I've got this field that I'm not sure if it's a number or text. So do you want me to sort anything that looks like a number as a number? Yes, I do. And there you have it. I've got my groups. So here I'm going to put A or B group. Okay, and I'm going to make all the 0 through 4s A's. And I'm going to make all the 5s through 9s B's. Now if I was doing this with 100,000 records, I wouldn't do it this way, I'd use an equation. So now I've got all my A's and B's. However, this is a random number, and I randomly generated 10 numerics, but I've got, in the A group, I've got 54 records. It says 55 here, but -1 because of the first row is labels. So I'm going to make this one a B randomly. Make this person B. That a B. That a B. That a B. So now I've got 50 in the A group. I've got 50 in the B group. They're extremely random. I can source code as required. I can either use this as the mailing list, which is always smart, like pull the data you need. If it's a mailing list, pull the mailing data. If it's a telephone list, obviously pull the phone numbers. Email, email lists, pull the email address. And then you don't have to marry anything up. You can just send this off to whomever is going to execute your campaign.